But first, Krystel Knowles has been gathering reaction from homeless people and advocacy groups on the other side of the debate.
For Will Foreman, Lake Eola is a special place. He spent his days and sometimes nights here. It's this view that attracts residents, tourists, and homeless people alike.
I'm a formerly homeless drug addict. I was homeless for 3 years here in Orlando. And I found myself, especially towards the tail end of my journey, spending a lot of time here at Lake Eola, resting, knowing it was a safe place where I could be.
Recently, Governor DeSantis endorsed a bill that aims to criminalize sleeping or camping in public, including parks. The proposed legislation would allow for the establishment of homeless camps with security, sanitation, and health services.
I take it as like kind of the dad test. Like, can I just take my kids and just walk down the street to see shop? You should be able to do that every place without having to worry about homeless or being accosted by somebody. We're not going to let any city turn into a San Francisco. Not on our watch. We're not going to let that happen.
The Homeless Services Network of Central Florida CEO Martha Ars says establishing homeless camps could have unintended consequences. Instead, she wants lawmakers to provide funding for proper shelters to combat the affordable housing crisis.
There's a lot of concern. Typically in shelters, we don't mix women with children with single men. We know that our unaccompanied youth, the young 18, 19, 20-year-old to 24-year-olds, they do better if they have their own place. And so having one place where everybody is together is operationally significantly more challenging. The challenge for any community that attempts this is that the legislation does say that it cannot be placed in a place that it has a negative impact to a business or residents. And so most folks I talk to say that's likely to be an industrial area and it will be off of public transportation, which will then make it more challenging for people who are trying to move back into permanent housing.
Jasmine has been living on the streets since September and says she's not comfortable with the idea of sharing a confined space, and she fears being far from the city.
That's not a good idea to have homeless camps. Where would we sleep? Where would we get help from? It'd be out of control. A lot of crime, more crime would happen. We won't be able to get help close by the area.
Erica Murillo is the president of SALT Outreach, a nonprofit organization that provides mobile showers and laundry services to Orlando's unhoused.
It seems like it's being approached as a one-size-fits-all model, and there is no one-size-fits-all. Every person's experience is totally different. You have people experiencing homelessness because of an eviction, because they lost their job. You have people maybe with mental illness, maybe addiction, maybe domestic violence situations, maybe just a divorce. There's so many things, and to group everyone in one place, there is no way that you can support a one-size-fits-all approach in an encampment like that. I don't even think it's possible, in my opinion, to be able to do that.
The bill to ban public camping and sleeping is advancing through the Florida legislature. If it passes and signed by the governor, it would take effect on October 1st.
Krystel Knowles reporting there. Well, let's bring in our panel now to break it all down. Joining us in the studio this week, Stephen Hudak covers local government for the Orlando Sentinel. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Great to be here.
Good to see you. Lillian Hernandez-Caraballo, who covers homelessness and housing issues for 90.7 WMFE News and Report for America. Thanks for being here for the first time, Lillian.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Good to see you guys. Lillian, let me start with you on this one because this is very much your beat. The governor says he doesn't want Florida cities to sort of become like San Francisco and other places, Seattle and so forth, which are experiencing high rates of homelessness for various complex reasons. What are the main parts of this bill, though, that stand out to you?
So two main things about this bill that stand out to me is one of them has to be how far-reaching it is. It's very broad.
Yeah.
It is a state getting on municipalities, telling cities and jurisdictions how to handle their unique homelessness needs in whatever way best fits them. It's preempting these municipalities.
Sort of a one-size-fits-all. That's what we were hearing just
That is
now
a really good
Krystel's
way to
piece,
put it.
yeah.
Absolutely. The second part of the bill that really sticks out to me is there's no funding. It's asking for these very specific requirements and criteria, and then it provides no resources or funding for to make this happen for these municipalities.